Oh, amazing. Look at everyone joining on time as well. I said good evening, everyone, if you're all tuning in from China. We just said we have advertised this as a 30-minute webinar, so we are against the clock and we are not going to keep you a minute more. But to kick us off in the chat, as we always do, because we want this to be as beneficial for everyone, we want this to be engaging and interactive. Type in the chat where you saw this webinar advertised. We do have our partner on the call as well, Julian from Englisher, so that could have been where you saw the advertisement as well, but also on maybe WeChat or someone's WeChat. So just type in the chat box, where did you see this webinar advertised? There we go. Got Gary, Lynn, Justin. Amazing. Good evening to you all. WeChat. Oh, there we go. Marketing is on the call as well. We've got LinkedIn, that's a good one. Welcome everyone. Jamie. Oh, good husband you've got there, sending it to you. Tony. Amazing. This is what we like to see. We want to make sure you all get as much out of this next 30 minutes as possible. So, as I said, I'm Rowena. I'm the owner of Totally Teach. We do teacher recruitment in China and overseas and have been for the past 7.5 years. A big shift that we've seen in the market is obviously schools requiring PGCEs or having, being a bit more picky in terms of candidates because it is more competitive now in China. But as we are dealing with schools in other countries, we have noticed that it's part of the visa requirements as well. For example, Malaysia. So PGCE and why it's important. We are going to hear from Ruth herself. Who gives a wave, Ruth?
Hello, everybody.
Everyone knows who you are. From the University of Cumbria. So she'll be going through the course and be able to answer your questions. And Julian as well, who I said our partner at Englisher, who will be helping with questions. But also, if you do want to submit your application, you will get full support from Julian and his team. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to pass over to Ruth very shortly. She's going to go through the course with you all. And then Julian is going to ask some questions to Ruth that have come in to him and his team. And then if we have any time at the end, some open Q&A as well. So I am going to just quickly stop sharing my screen and switch to another PPT so that Ruth can kick us off and tell us about the course. So just let me know when you want me to click through, Ruth, and over to you.
Hello, everybody. I'm based in England, so it's in the morning here. I can't see the PowerPoint just yet. Oh, here we go. So my name's Ruth Hurst. I'm a senior lecturer at the University of Cumbria, and I'm the programme leader for the PGCE non-QTS, which is what you are here to learn all about. So this programme's been running since about 2017. We have quite a few people based over in China and all around the world. Okay, Rowena. So you want to know about the programme. So I'm just going to cover who we are, what is the postgraduate certificate in education, and the non-QTS. So it is not qualified teacher status. And then why is it of relevance to you? Overview of the course structure. Everybody who comes on the programme, they do want to know what they're going to learn. How is it going to be of benefit to you? And I fully understand if you're a working individual, you want to know what the assessments are. So I will talk about those. And then the next steps, once you leave us today, how to apply and how to write your personal statement, the reference and any entry requirements. So we will discuss those. So the postgraduate certificate is level 7. So level 7 is master's level, 60 master's level credits. You will be awarded at the end of this course. Thanks, Rowena. So you may not have heard of the University of Cumbria, or you may have colleagues who are already on the programme or who've completed the programme in the past. We've got a number of different sites in the UK, as you're overseas, it's highly unlikely you're going to visit one of our beautiful sites in England. But if you're ever over, you can go into the facilities and use the library, etc. But as you will be an online learner, you will have access to all of our facilities online. So the skills support, the library support, disability support, counselling, you can access everything, all the ebooks, journals, etc. And as you can see on the map, we recruit from all over. You can see that we've got a big, heavy recruitment over in the Far East, and that just shows how relevant it is in the country that you are based in, but also the learning experience for you. I'm a big believer in social constructivism. You learn from each other. You will have a conversation with other people who may be in a different setting. Not everybody on this course is based in a school. Some people are involved in coaching and mentoring, working with different age phases. So you will be learning from each other. I'm a big, strong believer that you should understand the age phase before what you're teaching and the age phase afterwards. So you will learn, you will have those conversations with your peers as well. Thanks, Rena. So the PGCE non-QTS is benchmarked against national recognised M-level standards. So people always say, well, what's the difference? So in your undergraduate degree, you probably did level 6 in the final year. And that jump, if you just snip back, Rowena, sorry, that jump up to level 7 is more about the criticality in your writing. And as you finish this programme, you'll be awarded 60 master's level credits. And it's these master's level credits that are of interest to you when you are going for jobs. Okay. If you then wish to carry on, we don't say goodbye to you at the end of the programme. You can use these 60 credits and it's like your relevant prior learning experience. And you transfer it into the 180 and you can miss one or two of the assignments out of your master's. It can be taken, this course, alongside another course or full-time employment, which you have to be. You have to be in an educational setting to be offered a place on this course. There is no pressure on your employer. They don't need to observe you or mentor you. It's very much you coming on the course. You do not need to submit lesson plans. You should already be a teacher in your setting, okay? It is a highly regarded, internationally recognised qualification, and we do say that you need to check visa requirements for wherever you may be working. There is another course that's a PGCE. The I stands for the international. We opted not to go down that route because we wanted it to be a very generic and a very open course. It will not state on your certificate that you have a PGCE primary, a PGCE secondary in geography, for example. It will state postgraduate certificate education non-QTS. I have an example later on showing you what your certificate will look like. Thanks, Farina. So just as a little reminder, it does not award qualified teacher status. You do not need a mentor. You do not need to create lesson plans. It's fully 2 assignments. I'll tell you the title shortly. And you will not need to be observed, as much as I'd love to come out there and observe some of you in your settings. So requirements. Requirements for you to be accepted onto this programme. Clearly you need to apply. You do need to be in an educational setting for the duration of your course. And the reason being is that the assignments are linked with you and we want you to take ownership of your writing and it's reflecting upon you, your experience and your learners. You do need to be committed to online learning and you will have some live sessions. So similar to this, similar time of day, roughly, for about an hour, you will have a webinar. It's not direct live teaching. It's more of a discussion on the weekly tasks. So you'll work through weekly tasks. You'll watch videos, you'll read journals, you'll post in discussion boards, and you will build up your academic writing. You do need to have the equivalent of an undergraduate degree as well. And you also need to ensure that you have got your English language equivalency if English is not your first language. When you apply admissions, we'll ask for further information. And if you do have a degree from an English university, that may be used as one of your equivalencies. So it is very much on application that that is assessed. Thank you. So we've got 3 intakes. It's exciting now because we've got a September intake. We've got a January intake, which many of you are probably here to think about applying for. And we've also, this year, we've got an April intake. So I'm going to show you each of the year plans. September is what we call an academic year. September until May, June. The next screen, Rowena, I'll talk about the little colours in a moment. So then the January one is an annual year. So you have your break over summer, which for many of you, you may be out of your setting over summer, which is ideal. It may be that you are going travelling, so you can have that break in the summer. The only problem with this one is if your contract lapses. So we can press pause at the end of the module. So just say you move jobs and you want to press pause and return the following year, we can navigate some of those issues to ensure that you do successfully complete the course. Having that little break over summer also allows you to do some follow-up reading, be ahead of the game, and do some reading ready for Module 2 in September. So if you just move to the April intake, please. So April is slightly different. You commence in April, but you don't have that rest over summer. So for those people who are out of the setting or are new to education, it may not be the most suited route for April because you need to be reflecting upon your practice, what you are doing in your educational setting. Okay, now let me just talk about some of the different coloured squares and cells on here. We spend time at the beginning on your induction. I do find now that many people are quite au fait with online learning and they've experienced it either as a student or they've experienced it as a deliverer, an educator. We do want you to be comfortable, happy, and understand that learning environment. So we do have an induction. You have some live induction sessions with myself, and then you're broken down into groups. We allow you to select the group that you want to be in. We will state the times, and the times of the sessions are Wednesdays or Thursdays, about the 10 a.m., 11 a.m. UK time, or then we do some of an evening UK time. You assign yourself to a group. Wednesday or Thursday, you can select which is the most suited day for you and your working, family life, etc. And once you're in that group, it's normally less 30 to 35, it could be even lower. And you work with the same tutor for the whole module. All of our tutors are experienced in education, leadership. They all hold master's level, PhD, fellowship of the Higher Education Authority, and they're all very well experienced in teaching at every single age range. Okay, so they will, what I do find is there's different terminology, different ways that you may talk about a certain approach. And we might say, well, you need to really be looking at active learning. You might want to look at Dewey, and we'll give you the names of the theorists. So the 2 submission points, we have a formative submission and a summative submission. The formative, I come from a science background, so coming into educational writing, it's quite bizarre at first. You can talk first person, and this is why you need to be in your setting. It's very much about the I and what you have seen and what you are doing, linking it with the research. So we scaffold your learning with the activities. We give you the planned workload. So if you know that you've got things coming up or you've got national holidays, you are going away with work, or you've got a parents' evening, etc., we scaffold your reading so that you will read something, watch something, discuss with your peers in a virtual environment. So remember, some of your peers may be in a completely different time zone to you, or you may like to do your work on the train. You might be a night owl, absolutely fine. But we build up those discussion boards and they help you. They help inform your writing then for the assessments. So we try and give you your materials a week or two ahead so you can work through them. People always say, well, how many hours do I need to dedicate? The materials you will be able to do in 2 hours a week, but then it's how much extra work. It's you then, your independent study and your own, what type of learner you are, to be honest. And we all know what it's like if we go off on a tangent and we start to research something that we're excited on. We all of a sudden we think, gosh, I've done an hour looking at that, but it was really interesting. And that's what we're hoping for. We're hoping for you to become very interested in the topics and the topic you choose for your assignment. Thank you.
Thanks, Ruth. I'll just say probably 4 minutes before we need to hand over
Yes,
to Julian for
that's fine.
questions. And
So,
this PowerPoint has a life of its own. It's just going through the
right,
slides.
sorry.
So
Right,
let me
just
know
go up
if
to
you
the
want me to
assignments
go
then.
through.
Click through to the assignments. So these are the two modules that you will take. Raising the achievement of learners is the first one. So when I've said about you selecting your topic, if I look at this title, a critical review of, we leave that space there, and the extent to which it raises achievement in learners within the age phase. So I might say a critical review of case studies and the extent they raise achievement in post 16. Your formative is 1000. So the formative gives you the opportunity to submit something that's non-contributory to your grade. It's sort of like a little trial piece for 1000 words. Your tutor will mark it. They will give you lots and lots of feedback. And then you utilise the feedback plus your 1000 words and you extend upon it. And then you move into that reflective. So a critical literature review, if you can remember to undergraduate, in-text citations, so it would be Hurst, brackets 2025. So we use Harvard referencing. Next slide, please, Rowena. Module 2. Now, Module 2, a little bit more exciting. This is a small scale study. When we planned this, we wanted it to be usable. And the feedback that we've gained from many of our students have said that they've utilised this. They've used it in their work-based setting. They've presented. They've spoken about it at interviews. So this assignment allows you to have an abstract, introduction, literature review, and you go out and you collect data. The data you collect on the topic you've chosen, it could be AI in education, it could be the use of music as entry into the room as a settling activity, and you're going to see what happens. How does it work? Does it raise and enhance quality teaching and learning? So what's really exciting is you are implementing this within your setting. And for us as tutors, we are marking assignments, which are such a variety. It's amazing for us. And you get lots of feedback. You do fill in an ethics form and your tutor will work with you and ensure that you're not taking something on that's worthy of an 80,000 word PhD. We bring you back down to earth. It is only 4,000 words. We don't want you to be doing something that is way above. You're not trying to reinvent the whole curriculum. You are picking something that's of interest. And that's what I think is really exciting. No matter where somebody is based in the world, whatever age phase they're working with, they can move on and select something. So I'm a big believer on student successes. This slide shows some of our published work, and because of the way we've designed it, as in it's like a small scale journal article, it's easily transferable if you wish to publish. Not everybody wants to publish, but imagine putting this on your CV that you've published work. You can see some of the titles have changed. We need to make them exciting, don't we, for journal articles. So the bottom left, translanguaging on an English medium course. This person was a university lecturer in Dubai, I think. Critical reflection on immersive learning. So we've got some published pieces. Your tutor can help you and you can move forward. But at a basic level, you can share it within your teams. Fees, we are quite competitive. It's one fee for all. Now for UK and international, you can pay via instalments. You request this on application and you ask the fees team. I think It is something that you ask for if you're applying in January, early January, and they would split it up over the first 5 months. Okay. No student finance available. The course page will give the most up-to-date fee, and currently it's 2,800. Next slide. I've already mentioned the sessions and the times of the
Yes.
sessions you can select. And your personal statement, the application form itself will ask you to outline where you are working. So you need to state the name of the location you are working in. And you're better off having a reference with that setting that you are working in. So then we can really see that you are working there as well. I'm interested in the age phase, why you want to do this course, possibly linking to what you've done before, your experience of working within education. If you are lucky enough to be sponsored, some people are, you can state that as well. But we're not looking for 1,000 words. We only need about 200 words, which is not even a page of A4 really. The application itself, you will need to upload evidence, as in certificates from your degree. If you've already done a master's, we have many people on the programme who've already got a master's and PhD. It's amazing. So we can ask questions shortly, but that is your personal statement. I mentioned the award. So on the left there, you can see postgraduate certificate education. It's a pass fail. If you did not reach the 50% pass mark in your assignment, 50% is master's level pass. If you did not reach it, you're supported by a tutor for a resubmission, which is a rework of the original, and you have one resubmission opportunity. The certificate at the end will state pass. The transcript, however, would outline the specific marks. And this is what you might have to use for visas, or if you wish to go on to further study, it will be supporting you in that you've got these good grades as well. So you would be getting 60 master's level credits. So it's 2 assignments, 30 credits each. I was at graduation on Tuesday. I love the Carlisle Cathedral. It is amazing. Clearly, many of you are not going to come over to Carlisle, but depending on how many, we can put you in groups and we can do an online celebration. And you are all invited. So if you were in the UK, graduation is either July or November, depending on the intake, but you can request to attend at a time that's more suited for you. So I've come to the end, and Julian may have questions for me. I'm not sure how you want to manage this last section.
Let me just
Well
unmute
done,
myself. Thank you,
Ruth.
Ruth. Yeah, really good. Amazing. Ruth, so we've got a lot of questions. I'll try and ask them as quick as I can. A lot of students have been asking us about the English proficiency tests. I know that you guys actually do provide one. Is that correct? If they
Yes,
wanted
we
to do
do.
one internally.
We do something called the password English test, and we can send out the details if your IELTS has run out, or you do need to sit it again, you can actually ask us and we can put you forward for a password English test. We do not accept Duolingo, I'm afraid. And you have to
Okay.
remember you're doing master's level writing, and that's why it's a 6.57, because we don't want to set you up for a fail. You do, and many people, amazing writing in their second language, but it is at master's level, and that's what we need to remember.
Perfect. The next one, a lot of people have been asking about you mentioned you have your tutorials on a Tuesday and Thursday, was that right? Or Wednesday
Yeah,
and
Wednesday
Thursday?
and Thursday most of the time, yeah.
Yeah, perfect. I mean, the time is great. 11 a.m. would be for China. What would that be? 7 p.m. here, which is perfect after school for some people. However, some students are working in, for example, like a trading academy or some after
Mm.
school work. Would your tutorial sessions be recorded?
We record the main deliveries. So, for example, I did live sessions last week on the assignments. They are recorded, but because the seminars and the webinars are very much discussion based, it will be
Mhm.
speaking to a student. So we might be saying, oh, well, how does it work in your setting? And I'm sure you can appreciate the number of people that come on the programme. We have different levels of responsibility in different schools, and we just need to be careful of the recording. We have to get permission from everybody, and we try and ask people not to name their settings, but sometimes these things are done. So we do not always record the webinars because it's very much a conversation. It is an online programme. It is an online programme and it's the materials that are of most interest to you. I can see a
Yeah.
question come in. What if I work in a university? Is it acceptable? So one of the people who published, he works at a university. Just check with your university whether it's this qualification or another type of postgraduate certificate in higher education, for example. There are different courses.
Perfect. We'll move on to the next one because I know we're running out a bit of time. In terms of your installments, I noticed you mentioned you can do it over 5 months. Is that just for home rate students or is that for overseas as well?
We've managed to ensure that overseas can pay via instalments as well. So yes,
That's
everybody
fantastic.
is able to, and it's really good. We pushed for this over the last 2 years. Student feedback, and I'm happy that this has now been processed that you can do that.
That's fantastic to hear. We'll go on to number 4. So, what documents from the teacher's school are required? I think you covered it early on. As we're doing the application stage, it's important for the students maybe to submit their reference from their current setting.
Yes, I would say if you're applying for January, you need to be applying quickly. Applications are processed in December, and if you do need to ask any of your employers for a reference, they're sent a link to upload their reference. Clearly, people may be off, they may be on leave. So the earlier you can do this, you're in a very strong position to get it processed before the Christmas break. Our Christmas break is Christmas Eve until I think it's the 5th of January. And then the course starts approximately the 15th of January as well. So a reference letter is sufficient, and that's fine.
So, yeah, I think questions just came in from Andre. If I am an ESL teacher, would I be able to apply?
We normally say that if you have access to a learning environment and you're with your learners for over 5 or 6 hours a week and you are doing some of that teaching delivery, yes. So I'd say about the 6, 7 hours a week in your educational setting. And the reason being is you need to have that evidence base in order to complete your writing. We want to hear from you. We want you to be those eyes and experience the topic you've selected, and you're going to write about it. So super many people who come on the course are ESL teachers, to be honest.
Perfect. Next one, we'll go to number 5. I think you mentioned it earlier. When would graduation be for those who finish the annual January year?
So the January intake would possibly be invited to the summer graduation, but we allow people to defer. So you could do January or November, it's easy.
And another question we had another student ask, you do mention a lot about RPL, which is fantastic. Do you guys do, for example, a distance learning master's course?
Yes, we do. So if somebody decided to take the 60 master's level credits, they can take it into our fully online. It's called a Masters in Professional Practice, and we have specific pathways as well, which are really exciting because you can select those areas that you're of interest to. If you are working online and you're an online tutor, as long as you've got access to similar learners over the week, that's absolutely fine as well.
Perfect. And now I think we'll just close it off with the last question I've got written down here would be, when would the application deadline be for January? When would you say the latest date the last person can probably squeeze in?
So for January 2026 start, we don't want you to fall behind. So we need you to be on the system set up. We use Blackboard as our virtual learning environment. So the last date is really about the 8th of January.
Perfect. All right. I think that's all the questions. Does anyone have any more questions while we've still got a little couple more minutes? Try and ask as many as you can in the chat while Ruth is still here.
I'm proud we've finished right on half an hour. Look at
I
that.
I know.
know.
I was
Bloody
just
hell.
going to say we did it. 30 minutes. There we go, everyone. So obviously there is nothing else that's necessarily going to come other than if anyone wants to ask some burning questions. There is one more in the chat um, about being a non-native speaker, but obviously it's depending on the contact hours that you said, Ruth, per week with children, with
Mm.
students. So what I would say is that's the main session for everyone. We did promise 30 minutes and we did deliver. So if anyone would like to obviously give us feedback as well, how you felt with a 30-minute webinar instead of ones that obviously last longer, that's what we're trying to do, then please do also give us some feedback in the chat before you log off. That would be really useful. I've left English's contact details on here. So if you are interested in applying with Cumbria, English help you with your application so that you don't need to do that with full support. So please do go ahead and add Alex. Make sure you mention it was from this webinar from Totally Teach, so you can get some cash back and whatnot. But thanks, Julian. Anyone that would like to stay, thank you very much for joining us this evening. And we will just go through the last few questions now. So, Ruth, could you just reiterate for me the minimum number of hours that teachers need to have student contact to be able to qualify for the
Mm.
course?
So I can see one of the questions is, so I need to be a tutor. This course is for people who are in an educational setting, and be that I've had a basketball coach in Shanghai, somebody teaching canoeing in the Lake District, or teaching English as a second language. So you've got a range of people, but you do need to have access to these learners. So if you wanted to, you could do some volunteer work, but you do need to be 6 hours a week, ideally. The question about your master's studies done in English, I think when you upload your documents, the admissions team will give you advice. And if you've already completed studies in English, but it was an English university, etc., they may let you through, or they may say to you, do the IELTS course.
I have a really good question coming from Jaco about special educational needs. How much of this PGC program is SEN focused?
Every topic that we complete, we will always get you to think about those learners in your class. So you're adapting it according to who you work with. So if we're talking about assessment and we're talking about questioning, how are you going to be targeting questions and varying your questions according to the people in the room? We direct you to some readings and watching some short videos, and we do mention SEND. It isn't a big heavy part, but if you went on to the masters, you could be focusing on SEND. But no, it doesn't matter if you wanted to focus on SEND, you could use this as one of your titles for your assignment. And you just adjust the reading. So every reading would be trying to prompt you to think about it in your setting. So you might watch a little clip of a geography lesson, and you may think, well, this is how I'd do it in with my 6-year-olds or something. So you're using our materials and just tweaking them and doing some further reading according to your age phase as well. So 6 hours a
Perfect.
week student contact time. Yes, it is really. It's student contact time that you are with your learners, but it might be different learners. So does Cumbria have an international higher education certificate? Right, Richard, I'll get in touch with Julian and Rowena about this one. We do have another online course that I actually teach on. Not sure if it's titled higher education, but we do have one, and I'm not sure if it's available overseas, but I will get back to you, Richard, I promise.
Uh,
6 hours
Amazing.
with
I
different
think.
groups, 6 hours for different groups, it's fine. But ideally, if you can see the same learners twice in a week, that'd be amazing. It'd really help you.
Brilliant. So I think everyone got a lot out of that session, Ruth, and thank you, Julian, as well for asking the questions. That's what I think everyone really wants to know, kind of get to about the course. So, unless we'll keep it open for another minute, if anyone has any other questions, please grab Ruth now. Otherwise, I think we're all good. Julian, do you want to add anything?
No,
Or
yeah, I
Ruth?
just one last one would be the email. It's alex@english.co.uk, but you guys can just scan the QR code, get in touch with Alex. She'll share you all of Ruth's PPTs as well as the course website, the brochures, everything you need to know, and then we'll give you the list of the documents that you're going to need to submit. Again, as Ruth said, the 8th of January is your deadline, but you guys are going to need to probably do it a week before that, just so then you've got, if admissions do need them references, you can submit them on time. Don't leave it to the last day, but it is there just in case you need it. But we've got the whole of December to go. So if you guys are really interested, get on it tomorrow and we can begin from there, really.
Brilliant. Oh, there we
Yeah,
go.
we
We've had
start in
one.
January, it's the following January, so it's an annual year, so to speak. You start January 26, you'll finish January 27, and your award would come through probably by late February, March time.
Yeah, and what I would say from that, from a recruitment point of view, you can, if you do enroll in January 2026, you can put that on your CV. If you are looking to move in August 2026 hiring period, you can put that you're enrolled and that you're expected to complete in January 2027. And some schools will consider applicants that are doing that. You're already enrolled, you're already committed to developing yourself in terms of a higher education certificate. So uh, I wouldn't be put off by that. And obviously, we do have the spring semester as well, which then you will be qualified for if there are jobs then come the February semester in 2027. So I think that everyone probably needs to maybe go eat dinner, go to the gym, do some work, who knows, or just chill out and watch a series for the evening here in China. So I want to say thank you very much again, Ruth and Julian. All the contact details there, but I think everyone knows probably either someone from Englisher or Totally Teach. So just get in touch with someone if you are interested in getting connected with the University of Cumbria and studying your PGCE. Thank you all so much for joining us this evening and have a good one.
I look forward to seeing people maybe in January. Thank you very much.